there's anything that pulls somebody in different directions, guys, it is motherhood. It is motherhood, because I've been trying to film this video and this is like my maybe third attempt. The first attempt it was on a different day. The second attempt was earlier today, and motherhood test your patience, guys. I'm not even joking. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Saved Woman Zuleika. I am here to just have a heart-to-heart conversation about my lactation and I don't know say lactation. Anyway, my lactation, breastfeeding struggles, everything in between. My lactation experience or breastfeeding experience was not what I wanted. It wasn't what I anticipated, and for me, it all began with the complications I had. If you have not watched my story about how I had my baby, my traumatic experience and all that, I'm going to link that in the description box, because that will give you some context before you watch this video, right? And I didn't want to start thinking about that video because it was quite an emotional video for me, but I thank God because filming it just helped me I felt more relieved filming my experience and sharing it with you guys. So now, because of the complications I had, breastfeeding was very difficult for me because I was in a lot of pain. That's the main thing. And the pain kind of, in a way, stripped me of the experience that I had envisioned I was going to have. I felt like it was just going to be the way I expected it to be, right? That I would have my baby, a few hours later, I would breastfeeding my baby, I would be recovering so nicely and fast and everything. I would go home within the first few days. I was telling my husband that I'm going to spend just one night in the hospital the next day, because obviously my plan was to even not spend the night, but I heard that a lot of times if you give birth, they would keep you for one night to examine you and all that. And I was like, okay, I wanted like the fastest possible outcome, right? And that was how, when everything happened, like I said, watch that video. I was in a lot of pain. To sit down was an issue. Like, if I can even imagine the way I was sitting down, if I want to sit down, I first of all have to put my hand on the chair like this and then sit down with a lot of pain. Like, that's really literally, in fact, I'm even fast as I'm sitting. Then it was very, very difficult, and it just felt like I said in that video, everything I had believed God for just felt like I wasn't seeing it, because I felt I was going to have a seamless experience and breastfeeding was going to come naturally to me. So I feel like that was like the main thing. I was still taking a lot of drugs when I got discharged. I went to the hospital on a Monday night. I delivered early in the morning, 2:20 a.m. on Tuesday morning, and I was discharged on Friday. In fact, I had to really pray and trust God to be discharged on Friday, because it felt like they wanted to keep me till the next week, and I'm like, nah, I need to leave the place, because the hospital was traumatizing. The environment was traumatizing. The way the nurses were, it was just a toxic environment for me, and I didn't want to stay there, to be honest. And even to bathe, imagine, since I gave birth on Monday, I didn't take a proper bath until Friday. Like, I wasn't even being cleaned properly. I didn't even take a proper bath until I think Friday, when I got home, and my mom was actually the one that bathed me. I felt so dirty. I started to develop eczema on my face especially. And for me, at that time, when I was in the hospital, there was no nurse coming to check on me to see if I was lactating properly, if I was breastfeeding. Like I said, that thing about care wasn't there. No sense of, okay, how are you getting along? Because the most they would do is to maybe check if maybe have you fed your baby and all. Nobody's really concerned to know, okay, what is your specific situation, because mother A might be in the other room, might be breastfeeding normally, everything is happening, whereas someone like me, that I'm there, I'm struggling, I'm in pain. Even to come down from the bed, I needed help to come down from the hospital bed, and a lot of times the nurses will not even help, right? Of course, there are some of them that were nice. My point is, I didn't have that first support in the first few days, so I didn't really establish my breastfeeding in those first few days. Like, I feel like because of the kind of pain I was in, the hospital bed was not even comfortable enough for me to relax properly. So it was just, I barely was sleeping properly. I was eating. Thankfully, my mom was coming, giving me a lot of food, water, fruits, and all that. My husband was coming, but nobody was sleeping. Nobody was even allowed to even sleep there. Like, it was just a crazy experience. So those first few days, in my head, I thought, okay, when I get home, I'm going to switch to exclusive breastfeeding, because okay, now I'm at home. Now things are a little bit easier, even if I still met with more challenges at home. Like I shared in the previous video, I started having my episiotomy wasn't healing properly. So a lot of those things really affected my breastfeeding. And based on my own understanding, I started to, stay hydrated, keep putting baby to breast. So guys, I have to change location because I needed to change location. Anyway, so it was a very, very difficult time for me, and I felt like a failure, to be honest, because I had already felt like my childbearing experience wasn't what I wanted, and then for breastfeeding to now add another layer to it was a lot for me to deal with. In fact, there were times that I'll be pumping milk and I'll start crying because I'm like, that's not what I want. 30 ml is too. What would 30 ml do? That kind of pain. Mothers will be able to relate when you're pumping and you feel like what you're pumping is not enough. And social media, then I will be following pages, or maybe because of algorithm and all, like I'm checking postpartum content, and then I'll see some mothers with a lot of the pump and their milk will fill their freezers, and I'm like, what about me? So there's this kind of pain that comes with it when you feel inadequate, you feel like you're not doing enough for your baby, you feel like your body is not functioning the way it should. I don't know how to put it, but it's just that pressure that comes with not being able to adequately feed your baby, or your breast milk is not sufficient for your baby. When I think back, I just smell, but then it was hard, especially when you meet people that will tell you things like, oh, you're not breastfeeding. And when you go to the hospitals especially and they see you giving your baby a bottle, there's almost this thing where they are like, they say things that are very, very nasty to you. Madam, why are you not breastfeeding this baby? Not all of them are nasty, to be honest, but the way they just act as if feeding baby formula is an abomination. So I'm here to say that I did not do exclusive breastfeeding for my baby, and she's growing well, she's okay. I believe her intellect is perfect and she has the mind of Christ. I'm not saying that breastfeeding is not the best for babies. I'm just saying that sometimes exclusively breastfeeding your baby might not work for you, and it's okay. Just do what is best for you and your baby. Do what you are able to do, to be honest. Don't try and go beyond yourself. For me, I kept on pushing until the thing was stressing me out. There was a time I was pumping and I got so angry, like I threw my pump away, like I threw it on the floor or something. I was so angry, like, why are you not pumping? I was hitting my boobs, like, what is the meaning of this? Like, when I think about it, I'm like, but it's actually not funny. It wasn't funny at that time because I felt so bad. I took lactation cookies, I took lactation smoothie, lactation powder, lactation this, breastfeeding pap. I took so many things, and to be honest, yes, I began to see a little bit of improvement, but I think my improvement came mostly because I stopped worrying about it. And even when I improved, it wasn't still like as plenty as I expected it to be. I didn't have a stash like some women have, a stash of breast milk. When I think about it, I laugh, but then it was very, very tough to come to terms with the fact that I wasn't exclusively breastfeeding. In fact, when I got to Port Harcourt, right, I was able to breastfeed my baby exclusively for just a month. I think she was about 4 months. So I breastfed her from when she was like 4 months, like 5 months and 2 weeks, so like 6 weeks exclusive. And to be honest, even if that is not like exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months, I still felt like I achieved something. Now that I think about it, wasn't very, very necessary to still do that because I had already started giving her formula. I was doing predominant breastfeeding anyway, like the breast milk I was giving her was way more than what formula was just to support it. But at the same time, there was this sense of accomplishment that I had that even if it's for 1 month, I was still able to exclusively breastfeed my baby, if that makes sense. It was a very tough journey for me. It was a very, very tough journey. And I want to encourage you that if you are in that journey, don't beat yourself up. If you can do exclusive breastfeeding, by all means do it. I encourage it if you can. But mothers that cannot exclusively breastfeed should not be put under undue pressure. It's not necessary. And whatever journey you are at, whatever your journey looks like, celebrate yourself. You are a mom and you're doing your best. That's the most important thing. Whether you are breastfeeding, whether you are breastfeeding your baby. So guys, I have to take the camera closer because I'm currently breastfeeding. Anyway, so like I said, don't beat yourself up. Don't feel like you are less of a mom because you are not exclusively breastfeeding. You are an amazing mom, you're a fantastic mom, you're doing the best you can. And sometimes your best doesn't seem good enough for other people talking outside. You might say things like, oh, take this one so that you can lactate. And the truth is, also be very careful with unsolicited advice. The fact that someone else took pap and they were lactating a lot does not mean it might work for you. Like me, I took a lot of pap and pap didn't really do much for me. I took so many things. So just do the ones that you are comfortable with, and if you see results, fine. If you don't, it's okay. Just take it easy on yourself and do not put yourself under unnecessary pressure. I know why I'm saying this, because I know the kind of what I went through. I know how pained I was getting almost depressed. Not lactating properly was messing with my mental health, to be honest, because I was seeing a lot of videos online about women who had stash of breast milk in their freezers, and I would feel so bad. I would feel so less of myself. I would start feeling like, oh, that my body not even do anything right, that kind of feeling. So like I said, that's what I'm saying. You should be very, very careful with the kind of things you listen to, and do not allow people to make you feel bad. So whether or not you're a good mom is not determined by whether you're exclusively breastfeeding your baby or not. Just do your best, guys. For me, there's no manual to motherhood. There's no perfect guideline on how to be a mom. And the truth is, if you are able to give your child some breast milk, you are doing amazing. Exclusively breastfeeding, you are doing amazing. Maybe for some reason you can't even breastfeed at all, you are an amazing mom. That's the most important thing. You're giving your child the best. You're feeding your baby. I know some people say things like breastfeeding is best, fed is not best. Me, I believe that what is best is doing what works for you and your baby. If that is doing mixed feeding, giving formula and all that, if that is what is best for you, you know yourself, you know your situation, you know your struggles. If it's that you have issues lactating that you are not able to solve, please do not beat yourself up. You are not less of a mom than someone who is exclusively breastfeeding. So I just thought to share my own struggles. For me, that was what I did. When my baby was like 5 months and 2 weeks, I introduced solid because my exclusively breastfeeding for 6 weeks, I was already tired. I was like, nah, I can't. And for me, I was able to do that when I moved to Port Harcourt. I was calmer, I was less stressed. I had come to that point where I was like, whether or not I'm able to exclusively breastfeed, I'm a great mom. It wasn't easy, and even till now, there are times when I hear people say things like, oh, I did exclusive, I had a stash of breast milk. I still feel kind of somehow, but God is helping me. I'm a work in progress, and I believe that the next baby, God helping me, I won't exclusively breastfeed. But I promised myself one thing, that I'm not going to make it an obsession. I'm not going to make it an idol. I'm not going to make it something that will stress me out. Like if it doesn't work, then I will now be depressed or affect my mental health. Because as mothers, our mental health is so important. It is important for us to calm down and enjoy our motherhood journey. Like I wanted to say, there are so many things that make up your motherhood experience. Do not make breastfeeding like the main thing, that if it's not working, then you're not a good mom. Enjoy spending time with your baby. The few times or as many times as your child is breastfeeding or you're breastfeeding your baby, enjoy it. The times that you're giving formula, enjoy it. Enjoy your motherhood experience. You're breastfeeding your baby exclusively or not, it's not the sum total of your motherhood experience. Enjoy time with your baby, time with your family, bond with your baby. Because one thing I used to say, oh, because I'm not doing exclusive breastfeeding, I'm not bonding with my baby, I feel my baby is not attached, all those kind of but I think about it, and my husband told me one time, babe, this baby knows you, this baby is attached to you, have a bond with this baby, whether or not you're exclusively breastfeeding. So just thought to encourage a mom out there. This was my story, this is my experience, and my baby is thriving, my baby is healthy, she's hitting her milestones. And generally, mothers, please stop comparing yourself with another mom. Your baby is teething, your baby started having her teeth at 6 months, 5 months, and another mom has baby started teething, having teeth, by maybe 8 months. Does not mean there's anything wrong with the child. Every child hits their milestones differently. I've had moms try to make it look like, oh, their child is faster, their child is this. But please, this motherhood journey is not a competition. There's no award. You are the one that will give yourself the award, best mom. You are the best mom for your baby. God bless you guys. I love you. And please like, share, subscribe. If you are a mom, please share your struggles in the comment section. What was breastfeeding like for you? Was it a breeze or was it a struggle? How was it? Did you even care about exclusive breastfeeding? Because there's some people that are just like, nah, I'm not even going to bother myself. Not like they can't do exclusive breastfeeding, but they're just like, nah, I'm not going to stress myself. But please let me know in the comments. God bless you. And I'll see you in my next video.